right, welcome everybody. It's our first show. Very exciting stuff to do. I want to welcome my co-host Lauren Hill. Good afternoon, Lauren. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Corey?
I'm good. It's been a long time in the making, but we are finally here. So it's exciting times, and excited to see what we're putting together in something special. So I'm glad you can be with us, watching at home and online. So on that end, Lauren, let's take it from the top, shall we? So let's start with the basics. So for the viewers at home that might not be familiar with it, let's go over what fantasy football actually is. And so I'll let you go ahead and start.
Well, fantasy football is a game where you base all of your things off of the things that happen within the NFL. Um, and you can have teams up to, I don't know, a league up to 16 teams is usually the typical, but we are doing something different than that here. Um, and basically, you draft real life NFL players and you make up your own team and you play just like the NFL does.
Yeah. So the way I usually tell people is it's like picking your own all-star team of players in real life, and then your team scores points based on how the real players do in real life. But it's all fake. Fantasy football is entirely fake, but based on reality. So all good stuff. All right. So fantasy turf war. What makes us different? So, like Lauren was saying, our leagues in general are limited to about 16 teams. They get a little unruly once you get beyond 16. And I always joke that you end up drafting someone's cousin that you never met before. They're probably not even on the team yet. So once you get to 16, you can't do that anymore. So fantasy football is great for those people, but it's a very isolated experience. So something that we've developed is a 64 team head-to-head league, which is the first that we know of it's ever been done before. But that's what we have. And most of the time, once you get to 64 teams, you have what's called best ball leagues, where you're not really going head to head. You're just trying to put up as many points as you can. But in fantasy turf war, you're actually going against each other. And that's a serious competition. So we have four divisions of 16 teams, and they go head to head. And for the playoffs, the top two teams every week move on to face each other in a seeded bracket, and then ultimately there's one winner. So it's pretty intense stuff.
That's exciting. It's exciting because I feel like it's something that really hasn't been mainstreamed or done. So
Yeah, to our knowledge, it hasn't been. And of course, we did our research before we went this route with things. And just for everyone's awareness at home, we have done this league before on paper, but this is the first time that we're taking this socially. And we're doing it in a big way. We said, if we're going to do it, let's go big. Let's try and make something of it while we're at it. And that's what brought us here today. And yeah, to our knowledge, no one else has done anything like this. And as much as I loved the paper leagues, I really don't want to do more math. So I'm glad we're doing this digitally this year. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. All right, so Lauren, tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see this season. What are some of the things that we have coming before the actual NFL season starts?
so before the season actually starts, we have a bunch of different interviews that are going to be coming out. So each team, as Corey said, there's 64 teams in total. Each team is going to be interviewed in their own segment, and they are going to be released throughout the summer. So starting in July,
Hopefully,
I want to say.
hopefully tomorrow.
Hopefully in July. Hopefully in July. The interviews will start to be released, and then we're going to continue to do these live shows. I'm assuming once a week around that time, just to get like more comfortable with y'all as an audience, as well as the fact of just talking and promoting.
Yep. So the idea is we're going to do a show once a week on Tuesday nights, preferably, just to give you the information before waiver wires hit on Wednesday, and to give you updates about the league itself. The 64 teams, as part of joining the league, we will be interviewing them all. We have done about a third of them right now, and those will be airing once every couple days. And we'll start to roll those out so you guys can meet the teams that are playing against each other this year. The shit talking has already started, so yeah, there's that. But we're going to cover everything on the stream that involves the fantasy league in general. So The divisions, who's going to be in what division, is completely randomized, and that'll be on air. The method of what your draft order is going to be determined by is again randomized. That'll be on air. The actual draft order itself, and then of course the actual drafts. We'll have some folks cycling in and out, and we'll pull up on the screen a draft board, and we'll have people checking in, talking crap about who picked what. Hopefully, we don't have anybody drafting Harris Bucker first. Not that anyone's ever done that before, but we'll cover all that. All right. So, like we said, we're going to do Tuesday shows, and then there is also plans in the works to do a Sunday morning show. The idea is to cover last minute topics before the actual coverage starts on the other channels. We know we're a smaller channel this year. We're gonna eventually we'll beat them out, but for this year, we're gonna take our place right before them, get that knowledge out there, get that last minute info out there, so that you're prepared for your weeks. And we'll cycle through the contestants as well, and we'll stay everything up to date and covered. But we'll have some of the content writers that are also in the league. We'll have them cycling through so that you get some fresh opinions and get to see what they're up to, what they're doing. Switch.
Cool.
And this is helps if I'm on the right camera. So there's that. There's a lesson learned. All right. So some of the other things we have.
You have two. You have
I have
two cameras.
I have a laptop camera and the live stream camera. So the good camera and the built-in camera. So no pressure.
Sorry.
No pressure. It's all fun. We're here to have fun. We're trying to do something different, and this is a crazy world we live in, right? There's a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and it's a political election year, so life's getting crazy. And our idea is to just put some content out there that's not that, and to let people get away and see what other people are doing out in the world and doing good things with their businesses. And that's what we want to give a platform to. And then we also, we want to play and have some fun with ourselves with fantasy football. So that's kind of what brought us to do it, and we're excited to bring it to everybody else. It's a long time coming. This was, I think, my first post about Fantasy Turf War was the day of or the day after the Super Bowl. We said, okay, we're going to do this, and it's kind of just been a nonstop march since that point. So it's really exciting to finally get to the live shows. And just for everyone's awareness, I'm not normally the guy in front of the camera. I will be the guy pushing buttons behind the scenes. So you'll have Lauren and more about our co-host coming up later on. Not today, but we'll have more to share soon. But yeah, it should be a very exciting season. I'm excited to see what everyone's able to do. Really eager to see if some of these shit talkers can back it up with a win. It didn't take long for it to start, so it's good to see that there's the friendly competition going on. But one of the things for the people at home is you want to go to our website, fantasyturf4.com, and sign up for our email list. And the reason being is one of our partners, every once in a while, we're going to do contests and giveaways, and that will be the way to find out about it. So if you're not subscribed to our email list, you want to go to fantasyturf4.com, sign up for it, because that is the only way you're going to be able to win. And I guarantee these prizes are things to behold and things to have, and you're going to want them. So go sign up so that you're at least aware, and we'll have more to share on that soon as we get closer to the regular season. I think we're going to do, I think we have 4, if not 5 contests lined up for the year, and so you'll definitely want to stay tuned and stay informed. And then we also have merchandise coming. Everyone loves the merchandise, their t-shirts. We have some trophies and prizes. I think I was just going through it today, and I think there are 63 individual prizes this year. Some of which are trophies, some of them are wrestling belts, some of them are rings. So it's just all kinds of different things. And you want.
Does that mean that everyone but one person is going to get one?
No, so they're for different things.
Okay.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So no, there's like 63 awards, but it's different categories. A lot of them are point based, so most QB points, most total points, best record, Each division winner gets a prize. The first and second place get a prize. Obviously, the first place gets a prize. So there's all kinds of things scattered throughout. So one of them will be voted on by the viewers at home. And there will be a little public campaign for the teams to get voted on. So some interaction going on at home and for the people's businesses to promote. If you have a small business like a bar in Peachtree Corners, Georgia, and you want to get people to vote for your team, I think there's a way to do that out there. So that should be pretty exciting stuff, and can't wait to share with everybody. Remember, the only way to stay informed right now is through all of our social medias and fantasyturf4.com, and I believe it's fantasyturf4 at all the socials, like everything we could think of.
It is. Yeah.
So that should be a really good way to find it. One thing we did not cover: there are 60-something prizes, but you do not want to lose. And that'll be its own topic eventually, because the teams have not come to a consensus as to what that'll be. But there are punishments, if you will, for the bottom 4 teams, so one in each division. And then there is something at the end called the arc, which is, let's say it's the worst of the worst punishments for the person who comes in 64th place. So a lot of the teams are talking about how they want to win and how they want to at least get top 8. A lot of the teams just don't want to lose. That's what I've been telling people. So never fun. And then, again, that'll all be live streamed and public for the world. So I guarantee you want to stay tuned when your teams win and lose to make sure that you're helping them out. And yes, so Lauren, you will be playing this year, correct?
I will be playing. And when I read that announcement because I've never played in a league that won so many people, obviously, but is, like four divisions and 16 teams in each. And I read it thinking like, oh, there's just going to be one overall loser. And then I was like, wait,
nope,
there's four. Yeah, so I've never come last in any fantasy league that I've ever participated in, but never say never. I guess, knock on wood.
Recorded live for the world, so let's hope that doesn't. Let's hope
come
that
back
ages well. Yeah.
Let's hope.
So you will be playing in the league as one of our 64 teams. I don't believe we've officially announced it yet. We were kind of holding on to it for the other host.
I'm waiting for that day.
So we're getting there. We've had a lot of the teams announced. Lots of cool businesses doing really cool things. There's some nonprofit companies in there that are doing some excellent work for their communities. So great interviews. Can't wait to share those with you guys as well. Those are coming. I promise they're coming. I had to rebuild the intro this morning, so that was not fun. But this is going to be something cool. I am not playing. It was decided early on that I have to be nonpartisan in this process, and that I quite frankly don't have the time to play another league, but I can run this one, and that's enjoyment enough for me. And then I can also brag. I have, if you look over my left shoulder, you can see my left, you're right, my 6 championship rings, and I got a couple trophies back there. So I can say I'm the greatest in the world, and I don't have to back it up. So there's no pressure for me. So it's all on you guys this year. So, yeah, and we'll explain why I have a Panthers jersey on, but I have Raiders memorabilia in the back. That's a whole nother story, but we're not going to get into that today. But yes, make sure you're following along at fantasyturf4.com. Sign up for the email list. We're making updates to that as the preseason goes along, but you can follow along with all of our contestants, find out more about them, and then we'll link to all of their social media so you can follow their companies along, see what they're doing, and we'll get things rolling here. And it's pretty exciting, and I'm glad we're finally at the live show part. So a little nervous. Like I said, I'm the guy behind the camera, not in front of the camera, so I'm sweating bullets over here. But
no, it's all good. It is all good.
Yep, and thanks to everyone at home. I see we have some watchers already, so like that's awesome. You never know if someone's actually going to watch or not, and just the fact that there's already people watching, we got 2 thumbs up. Look, that's a win in my book. We're doing great. So nothing but up from here. Yeah, thanks for everyone at home, and I almost forgot. How rude of me as the commissioner. One of the plans as part of this league with the 64 teams is there was a whole lot of pre-coordination and trying to get companies and people and explaining what this thing is that we're doing with 64 teams at home, especially digitally, because we didn't want to make it exclusive to where I live or exclusive to where you live. So we're trying to get out there and get the word out to folks. But one of the things we recognize is once the word starts to get out there, we didn't want to tell everyone too bad, so sad, you're going to have to wait till next year. So we deliberately left a couple of places open in the league for the people who are watching at home. So we have at least 3 spots that are left open, completely open for people at home. So if you want to join the league, the 64 teams, email fantasyturfwar@gmail.com and explain why you want to be in the league, and I will review it. Lauren will review it, and we will see if we can bring you into the show. We deliberately saved spots for people who might not have heard about it yet, just because we thought that there could be something cool out there that we just never saw beforehand, and we didn't want to lock people out of the opportunity. So the opportunity is open. Email fantasyturfwar@gmail.com, and we hope to see at least 1 or 3 of you in the league from watching at home. So that should be pretty fun.
That would be really exciting. Please do that, please.
But you gotta justify why. You don't have to have a company. A lot of the coordination beforehand was trying to find people with established audiences. This is not that. This is strictly viewers at home. That is the category you are filling. No pressure on if you have a high social following, any sort of business. Just average people, that's what we want. We want the average viewer at home, give you a chance to play. Don't worry about all the other stuff that some of the other teams are going to bring. That was part of the coordination for them. We want to reach you at home. So that's why we're leaving those spots open. Make sure you email us and justify why you think you should be in the league, and we'll take a look.
I would also add that I would not apply if you don't want to be interviewed, because you have to be on camera.
Yes, there is an interview component to it. We want to know about you. We want to show the audience who you are and what you're doing at home. Not what you're doing at home today. We want to know kind of what you do in your life and what your backstory is, and we want to share that with the world. So that's part of the justification of why you want to be in the league. Is we'll take a look at that, and then we will interview you as being in the league with everyone else, and we will air that. So there is that requirement that you will be interviewed live. So if you have something to promote, even better. If you don't, it's cool. We still want to know about you, your backstory, and kind of what brought you to the table. So yeah, it should be interesting either way. We're trying to get I think we're at 23 states, so we've got some covering to do. We still have nobody from California. That's just odd to me. So,
really? That's surprising.
Nobody from California, and no Texans fans, no Browns fans. I don't know if there are any, but no Texans fans, no Browns fans. But got some gaps to fill there. So let us know why you want to be in the league.
Falcons fans?
There are Falcons fans.
Okay, I was like, wait. I didn't put that down, but
no, we have I think I'd put out the statistics to the teams internally, and we'll put all this out eventually. But I think the most favorited team amongst the contestants is, fortunately or unfortunately, it's the Cowboys. I think there's quite a few Cowboys fans in the league. I don't get it. I mean, look, you can only help people so much, but maybe they'll see the light.
Hey, don't be mean. Don't be mean. You never know.
Not being mean. It's just 1 star. They got 1 star rating. That's who they are. It's like that's literally their.
This could be their year. This could really be their year. They say it every year, but this could really be it.
Yeah.
It's not, but it could be. It could be.
They're probably in better shape than my Raiders, but we don't need to go into that today.
Yeah.
What was the Falcons haven't had a good couple runs either, but there are some diehard fans in the league. We just interviewed a couple of them. One of them is going to run for Fan of the Year for his respective team. And I'm not going to spoil that yet, but he is a diehard fan, and we're going to make a public campaign out of trying to get him to be a Fan of the Year for his team. The actual official competition. So that's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, every interview we've done so far, great people, great backstories, a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences, and it's pretty cool to see all the different backgrounds come together over fantasy football. So can't wait to share that with everybody.
What's been your favorite like quote or line so far from an interview, or like what someone talked about, or just something to give the people something?
Sure. So there's a component at the end of the interviews where we ask them three random questions, we call it overtime. And it's the same three questions for all the teams, just to see what they do with the question. It's supposed to be a little off-putting, a little deep thought kind of thing. I think the things that stick out to me is technically someone showcased stolen goods, which is interesting. I think technically they gave it to him, but technically it's stolen. So I'm not the lawyer. Let them figure that one out. And then I think
Okay.
there's a piece where they get to spread a message, and a lot of people choose a very sentimental route of world peace kind of things, right? And I think
Mm,
one maybe two of them use that time to just plug their stuff. It's like, hey, that's good.
that's fair.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
they
they've all
already had
been.
the elevator pitch ready to go.
Yeah, and you can tell some of them are prepared with it. They're business people, so that's good that they come prepared. We want to make sure all the teams involved are elevated in some sense by their participation with us. So it's good to see. And yeah, like I said, there's a lot of similarities, especially the podcasters, um, with the origins of how they got that start. A lot of them seem to have just already have been having that conversation and just put a
Mhm.
tape recorder in front of them eventually, and then they just put that online. And that seems to be a common thread, is that just organic conversation was already taking place, and they're like, man, someone else might want to listen to this, and then that's how they got their start. So there's quite a few of them that started that way.
I feel like that's how most podcasts start in general. I mean, just depending on, I guess, the frame in which you do it. So if it's like you and your friend, then it's just like maybe one day you thought like we should record what we're saying because we're funny, or like wanna, something like that, or like how you're talking about if it's a solo person talking about their hobbies, interests, whatever. Somebody is bound to have the same hobby and interest as you. So there you
Yeah,
go.
and I've got a friend, a good personal friend who I think his story is that like he needed his wife basically told him you have someone you need to go talk to somebody else because I don't want to hear about this thing anymore, and that's how he started his podcast. I mean it in a nice way, but it's like there's only so much of certain topics people want to hear if it's not their thing, and it's like you need
That's
an
fair.
outlet. So he turned it into that, and it's been a very very successful career for him. And I'm trying to get him in the league. So I hope you're watching because I'm trying to get you, man. So we'll get you in here, and we'll have to explain that story from lawyer to what you do now. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So but
Send
yeah,
him the link right now.
I will. I will. I'm gonna plug him and say, hey, get you no pressure. One of our mutual friends we just announced today, Jeff. So now we're going to leverage Jeff to then pressure the other guy. So we'll get him in here.
Awesome. Was that the guy that was posted today? You just said that?
Yes, Jeff C. Yeah, he's a friend of mine as well. We have mutual friends. One I was talking about with his podcast, and Jeff's a great guy. You're gonna love meeting him. He's super charismatic. He's always funny. And I was joking around on social media. I think my camera's freezing, but I was joking around on social media that I was gonna convince him to shave his beard if he lost the league, but I don't think he's ever gonna do that. So we could play along with
Oh.
it.
That could be, yeah. What if each division, like once the divisions are released, each division has their own um, punishment? That could be something because remember you talking about how one person wrote in and was like, get a tattoo. Personally, I don't want to be in that league or division, that division.
Yeah,
But
you
if
know,
there's 16 people that are willing to get a tattoo of just like FTW on their somewhere, that'd be great.
that
That'd
would
be
look. It's great content. I would fully support that, but please don't do that if you don't want to. But I think, um,
no, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe if in some way like the um the word left my head, the punishments turn into something via like each division by
yeah,
itself. I don't
I
know.
I
Maybe
bet
that would be hard to keep track of.
Look. Let's reevaluate the tattoos in season 3. Let's make sure this is gonna take off for a while. We've committed to 3 years. We're gonna do the 3 years. So let's see how that goes before people start getting
And then
permanent tattoos.
add in the punishment of the tattoo. Yeah,
But
that's like Cowboys. I've seen Cowboys fans get tattoos of like
well, that's fine because the Cowboys aren't going anywhere.
21. This is us. Yeah,
Yeah, the Cowboys aren't going anywhere. But as much as I love what
that's
we've
true.
put together, I would not expect someone to get a tattoo of our league. Just yet. Maybe later. Maybe I'll get one eventually. But
Yeah.
yeah, in the age of AI and Chat GPTs, um, asking it what the best fantasy football punishments tattoos were eventually going to come up. Um, I like the public ones where it's like the IHOP for 24 hours or have to hold a funny sign or something like that. But I think I'm going to probably draw the line at like altering body parts and putting permanent ink on. Like, it's probably a good place to draw the line on the first year. Not yet. So, yeah,
I
we'll
think
see.
I don't. I've seen like the public where you have to stay somewhere that's a 24-hour, and
Yeah,
I've seen someone do Walmart, and I was like that. I think I would fall asleep in a Walmart and then I'd get like somehow arrested. But like I think a Waffle House, I would do that. Um,
yeah,
and what was it like? You eat one waffle and it like takes off an hour or something like that.
last year we
Yeah.
did the Waffle House. It was we cut it. We basically cut it in half. It was only 12 hours was the commitment, but every waffle you ate, you only cut out a half hour instead of a full hour. So it still worked out to be about the same. But yeah, so it was. I mean, at least there's something to do in eating. I couldn't imagine having to kill time at Walmart. I go to Walmart to check
Yeah,
groceries and all that stuff, and I couldn't do that for 24 hours.
no, you'd find so many products you'd never seen before. You'd go through the aisles so many times.
That they probably think you're stealing. Like,
Probably, honestly, probably. But the Waffle House, I'm sure every year they just know like, oh, you're part of this group of people that does this.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the nice
I
part
don't even. I'd
is,
have to bring like a sleeping bag and a pillow with me. Me and like the booth of a Waffle House, just.
yeah, because I mean, realistically, you're gonna go in hungry. You're gonna eat as many as you can, and then you're gonna wait a little bit, and then you're gonna eat again. So like, it shouldn't take too long. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah, but I've never. I don't. I've never had more than one waffle at a Waffle House, considering 24.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been to a Waffle House, but it's good food. I've spent many a times at Waffle House, so good eating, and it's cheap and it's good, so all good. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. We've still got plenty of interviews to do. We still have not locked in all the 64 teams on purpose because we wanted to let that ability for the people at home to join. Um, once we get all the 64 teams, then we can start really moving on some of the actual league activities in terms of picking divisions and all that stuff. But in the past, we've seen, we pre-designate the divisions, and then it's like, okay, if the next person that joins is going to join this division, and then they take a look, and they're like, no, I don't want to play anymore. So to prevent all that, we make it completely randomized, completely out of people's hands, not even in my own hands. And the nice part about it being online is that you can do some interactive and fun things at home that the viewers can participate in too. So it's going to be suspenseful. They're all going to find out at the same time what the draft order is. Um, yeah, so it should be good stuff. We've got digital races. Next year, if we do well enough, I want to do something in person where they actually have to do some sort of physical competition of some sort. But for this year, we've got some digital solutions, so it should still be fun. One of the divisions will have to take a test. One of them would just be completely random, like a digital race. Yeah, there's some interesting things. I can't tell you the test because
Like the SAT or like.
it's not the SAT just because I don't have the answers to it and I don't know all the answers. But it is a test, and depending on how well you do on the test, will determine your draft order. So that is one of the things.
Is it timed?
Um, I don't think it's timed. I think there's a cap, but I don't think it's like timed. Like you can go for a while, but it can't take forever.
Yeah.
Um, No, actually, I mean it's going to be capped because it's going to be all aired online. So I mean, there's going to be a cap because I don't want to edit all of that. So someone's
That's
going to
fair.
have to.
That's
I think one of the methods is Tetris. One of the methods is like an actual race, and then one of them is a digital race. So there's a couple different things. We're still playing around with it, but once we get all 64 teams locked in, then we'll be able to share all that stuff. But we call it the triple randomization. So it should be fun, and it's usually where all the banter starts because there's no way of knowing what you're going to end up with. So it's always a good time.
Yeah, now I'm nervous about taking a test. I'm like, I'm overthinking it, and I'm like, what is it going to be? Math? Is it going to be fantasy football facts? Is it?
So I mean, it's been we've done it before. It's been anything from trivia, like pop culture trivia. Someone did a civics test once. One of it was just a basic rapid fire multiplication kind of thing. So there's all kinds of different things, and we'll probably end up randomizing that too, just so that it's not unfair to folks. But yeah, that one's probably the worst one. I don't want to take a test. I'd rather play Tetris or just let the randomizer figure it out for me. I don't want to take a test. But,
Depends how long it is. If you give me one of those like multiplication sheets from like second grade where it's just like we were timed in 1 minute and you just went like three times five, three like all those, that's kind of fun.
yeah,
Give me
good.
like a physics test. Oh, I'm sitting here for a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, I'm a project manager by trade, so like, it's got to be a topic that I can actually answer properly. Like, I can actually have an answer key to with like knowing what I'm talking about. So it's not physics, but it should be, but it's not. But yeah, it's always fun to see people, and that's the joy of it. Is 16 teams are going to have to do each one, and you don't know who's going to do what, and no, there's no way to prepare. I'd like to say that there's no math involved, but there could be. I have no idea. I haven't figured it out yet. So, it could be.
It's all up to
Hopefully
you.
not. But yeah, it'll be exciting stuff. I think we are in our upper 50s in terms of teams, so we're getting close to locking in the rest. We have a tentative 64 with the openings for the rest of the audience at home to apply again at fantasyturf4 at gmail.com. So there are a couple openings, but we are tentatively at our 64 with the businesses side and the solopreneurs and the content creators kind of thing. We have those. We're just waiting to hear back. There's a lot of bigger names that we are not about or are not ready to share yet, but we're about to. Some of them people will recognize. A lot of them people will recognize. Some of you may not. But there's some bigger nonprofit companies that are just waiting on their PR department to finalize the paperwork there and make sure we're all good to go. But yeah, it'll be some cool stuff. We've got some really cool people coming in. Yeah, it should be an exciting time. And
Exciting.
awkward silence.
Very exciting.
All right, so I think that's probably a good place to end it today. I think we've covered everything we need to. This is really as much for the people at home as it is for us getting our feet wet and walking through the motions a little bit. Like I said, we've been kind of going full steam on the coordination since February, and we just got to the live shows, and here we are. So now we keep going forward and onward and upward, and yeah, it'll be pretty exciting. If nothing else, 64 people, 65 people, myself included, will be thoroughly entertained this year, and someone will have bragging rights to take back to their companies. But I think we're onto something. A lot of the people seem to think we're onto something too. So make sure you sign up and follow along so that you can stay informed. And then again, go to the website so that you can sign up for the email list and get involved with the contests when those start to roll out. Because I promise you're going to want to be in on those. And yeah, we're going to make this as interactive for you at home as it is for us in the league. And as a commissioner, I feel like I have an obligation to make it fun for the people at home too. So we will stay engaged with you at home. Make sure you follow along, subscribe on all the things. My 10-year-old in the back is probably, or 11-year-old. Nope, he's 10. He's probably in the back going, like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. And it's like, okay, I got it. Do that. You know what to do.
That,
Do
please.
the things.
Yes.
Tell your friends. Again, we're going to try and do every Tuesday night, and we'll be very public from here on out, so that you guys can follow along at home. I will have hopefully the first interview out the door tomorrow, and then we'll start to roll those out. And can't wait for you guys to meet the rest of the league, and can't wait to see them all scramble for dear life not to lose. So this should be fun. So,
What do
Lauren,
you mean all?
what?
I think I'm going to do great. Just want to put that out there.
Again,
Anyway,
hopefully that ages well. I've got 6 titles behind me. I've got nothing.
you
I'm,
know,
I'm good.
yeah, I really does have that age as well. I've only, just to put it out there, also online, I've only won one time, but it was my first season. So is it beginner's luck or probably maybe? Um, but I've come close most years after that. So
Yeah, I was watching some of the raw interview stuff as I was going through the editing process, and I seem to repeat this a lot. So I might as well just say it again. I have a notorious habit for going into the playoffs with the best record and the highest points scored, and then I lose the first week. So my family is at home going, "Yeah,
I did that.
that's you. Yep, I've done that before." So that's my
Hmm.
claim to fame. But I do have 6 titles in, well, let's say a decade, somewhere around a decade or less than 2 decades. So somewhere in
Oh, he's like the Tom Brady of fantasy football. There you
there.
go.
Nope, there are definitely people in the
No,
league.
no,
There,
no.
there are definitely people in the league with more championships and many, many more years of experience than I do. So, yeah, we'll cover all those in our power rankings when we get to it because that all plays a part. So that should be pretty exciting. I think the cap right now, there's 2 people in the league that have 30 years of experience, and I think the average is about 12, and there are 5 people that have never played before at all. So it should be pretty exciting.
Wow.
I tell people, especially when they're like, "Hey, I don't know if fantasy football is my thing." I'm like, honestly, it's probably the people who've never played before that win it. Like you said, you won your first season, so you had never played before and you won. So that seems to be what happens. So I put
It
money
really
in that.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, like I've had so many leagues that I've been in, or I've created leagues with friends that have never played a lick of fantasy football in their entire lives. And literally just last season, one of my friends that have never played before won the entire season, like swept everybody.
yeah,
It was embarrassing. I was like, what is even happening? And I'm sitting in the back, and I was like, I played for 6 years, and this is happening to me.
yep,
But no, it really is. It's the people that have never even looked at it and just choose based off of whatever it is, how they look, their name sounds fun,
yeah,
uh, they like the colors of the team, like literally anything. It could be anything, and you just happen to get a 5-star team out of nowhere.
yep. Yeah, I think my sister used to draft Drew Brees every year just because she thought he was cute. And
Mhm.
even like the last year when he was just he was in, but he
So
wasn't
bad.
really playing. But that's what she wanted. So, and she's decently competitive there too. So, but yeah, and you never
I
know.
used to do
And
that with
that's
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. And then I drafted Aaron Rodgers as my backup quarterback last year, and
it was
he
good for the
tore his
first couple minutes, and then
he was good for the
yeah.
first 40 seconds. Yeah.
So, well, hopefully that doesn't happen again this year. I think there's actually a prop bet in Vegas of how long he's going to go without getting injured this year. I'll have to see what the current odds are.
I hope he goes far. I just hope, I don't know. I don't know. I would love him to win a Super Bowl before he retires, but I don't
Yeah,
know. I think he's looking like Tom Brady in age wise, not in comparison of skill. No one attack me for that and quote me on my digital footprint that I just made right there. But I don't know. I feel like he's trying to prove a point, and I hope that he gets to prove that point before he can't anymore.
yeah, it'd be a good comeback story if he's able to. I was going to say get off his feet, but hopefully he has a good story this year. He has a successful season. He is still on the Jets at the end of the day, so there's probably some problems there, but they seem to be okay. And I think they're going to pull it together. They pulled most of the people out of Green Bay over there, so they've got a solid team. I think if they just got to put it together. So, again,
Hmm. They do.
don't need to.
Yeah, they really do.
So don't need to cover my Raiders. I don't know what's going on over there, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lauren, in the meantime, where can people find you, and where can we start to follow along on your journey?
Um, yeah. So I am on Instagram. I'm on most social platforms, but I'm going to release certain ones for just personal, you know, keep to myself on some. Um, I don't think I have it listed on the website. I think I thought I wanted to keep my Twitter to myself or my X account. But that you can search up. It's just lhill716. And then my Instagram is my full name. So Lauren dot Elizabeth dot Hill. It's long, but gets the point across. And I think that's it for now. And I have a website that you can go click on and do whatever you want. But yeah,
Sounds good. And if people have trouble with it, when we release your team on social media, it'll have all of your plugs there as well. So if you haven't followed along already, then that'll be a place where they can find you there, and we'll keep up with your journey and hopefully a top 8 finish this year, and see you in the playoffs. But never know, never know.
I would hope so. I talk enough smack about sports as a whole that I think it gets me far in fantasy. It boosts the ego and just keeps me going. So hopefully, but yeah, I'm gonna knock on wood again because knowing me, if I don't do that, I'm gonna end up last.
Well, you never know. Like I said, it's probably one of the 5 teams that have never played before that's going to win the whole thing. You just never know. But in the meantime,
And I'm excited to meet those people because I didn't. I need to. Obviously, we need to finish the interviews, but I'm excited to meet those people that haven't played and get their like perspectives on all of this.
yeah, it should be pretty interesting. If the first 20 or so are any indication, the other part of the league is going to be really interesting to see what their backgrounds are, and kind of what brought them to do what their calling is in life. And there's been some really good stories. So I like where this is headed, and I'm hopeful. I'm very excited to see where we're going. But Lauren, it's been awesome. I think we're good to wrap here. I'm still working on our outro sequence, so there's no good way to end this other than telling people to have a good night,
Harsh.
follow along at home, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are on the march to get to where we want to go at the end of the year. There's going to be plenty of things to do for you at home while you're watching along, and root on your favorite teams. And yeah, can't wait to share this season with you guys. So on that note, Lauren, have a good night, and I will see you all on Tuesday.
Bye.
All right, bye.